Carly, and joining me tonight will be my daddy. He will be my audience for the night. So I'm a history guru. I absolutely love history. I love the good and the bad. So I'm going to be telling you why it's important to keep historical monuments and symbols around. So what's a common theme that we see today? We got denial, embarrassment. I say all of this in the context of history, of course. History isn't pretty, but it is important. It is important to know, it's important to study, and it's mostly important to learn from. Those who cannot learn from history are doomed to repeat it. This was written by a philosopher that goes by the name of George Santayana, and this is the basis quote for why history is important, and it should be kept around. Most of us have taken a history class way more than once in our lifetime. We seem to be pretty well up to date on our history. Although, a common thing that I see today is a lot of people who take that quote lightly. They think the bad history should be erased, when in fact there is no such thing as bad history. Now when I say bad history, I mean history that someone doesn't agree with, or history that has a bad past. Not all history is pretty, like I said, but it is still history. So let me just give you an example of what I mean. In this past year alone, I've heard of more people vandalizing historical monuments, digging up graves, banning certain things, and tearing down buildings. And all of this was just because they didn't like the history behind it. One place I know for sure that is in the process of trying to be tore down is a 2,000-acre plot of land in Milledgeville, Georgia. It was one of the most important medical institutions of the 1800s, and it was called Central State Hospital. It was one of the largest asylums in the world at that time. And of course, when I say asylum, what comes to your mind first? Straitjackets, electroshock therapy, lobotomies, all this creepy stuff, misunderstood patients, all of these horror story sounding things, plus some would be correct. All of this happened here in this one place, but also some good things happened in this place. In the midst of all this horrible atrocities, we learned how to properly treat the mentally disabled. So why is the building important to keep around? It's important because it's now a symbol. We can't just tear it down because some patients were treated badly here. Instead, we need to be taking the new generation, or even this generation, or the older generation, to these buildings and teaching it. We need to be telling what went wrong here and what went good here. There's also another example. After the awful shooting in Charleston, South Carolina, many protesters ran out and began destroying Civil War monuments, digging up Civil War general graves, and they even banned the rebel flag. Now, since we've been old enough to learn, we have been taught why the Civil War is important to us. It is our own United States history. But much like Central State, they are trying to do away with some Civil War monuments, just because they don't like what it was fought over. Some of these monuments, most of these monuments are Confederate monuments because it was here in the South. And a lot of people don't like that because the Civil War was fought over states' rights and slavery. But if we tear them down, then what are we going to teach? Yes, we have Northern Civil War monuments that we could teach off of, but then it would be like they fought a battle that against no one. We need Civil War monuments here. If this history bothers you and you don't like it, then we need to keep it here so we can teach against it. This goes for all history too. Lots of people try and deny the Holocaust. One of the largest Holocaust institutions over in Germany is called Auschwitz, and it still stands today. Now this history hurts a lot of people. What happened during the Holocaust was awful. And yes, I agree, it's not pretty at all. But if we tear this down, then what else will we be teaching? We'll make a way for the new generation to not even know about it, and for them to not be able to stop another leader who tries and comes and does away with a race. History hurts. It also hurts the people who have to learn this history. It's understandable to fight to erase some of it, but you can't do that, because if you erase it, then you can't teach against it. And like I said, if we don't learn from this history, then we are doomed to repeat it. So if we erase the history, if we erase Central State, then how will the new generation ever know how to treat the mentally disabled? Now, because of Central State, we know how electroshock therapy doesn't really work. But because of electroshock therapy, we know how signals in the brain work. Now, because of the Civil War, we know how to stay united as a nation. And if we erase the Holocaust, then nobody will be able to stand against another person trying to take over. My point is this: no matter your beliefs and no matter your stance on certain history, all history is important. We need these symbols and monuments around the good and the bad to fight for our stance, to fight for your stance, what you want to say about it. You can't fight against something that is not there. And if you take it all away, it will come back. As one of my classmates asked me how some of this makes people feel. Yes, history does hurt, and it sucks. And if it bothers you this bad, then you should want to keep that history around. You should want to keep those symbols around so you can teach against it, to fight your belief. I was also asked, what will we be preserving the next 4 years from now? Which is a great question, because as of right now, we are history. We are making history right now as we speak. As for what should be preserved, I'm not really sure. We're all going to have to wait and see until the next 4 years are up. I hope whatever it is, though, will be preserved, it will be valued as important, and it will be learned after. Because like I said, or George Santayana said, those who cannot learn from history are doomed to repeat it. Thank you.